Hey guys, welcome to the True Blue Riffcast with your hosts, Jeremy and Dave. My name is Christine DeBelle, but many of you know me as Susan from A Talking Cat. And as you know, I have to go and get my cheese puffs out of the oven. So have a great time with Jeremy and Dave. See you soon.
Thanks, Christine. This is the True Blue Riffcast, the #1 RiffTrax podcast in the world. I am Jeremy, and with me, as always, is...
Hey, everybody, I'm Dave. I'm Dave. It's been a little while, hasn't it, Jeremy?
Yeah, it's been a few weeks since we recorded a new episode, thanks to crazy work schedules and all that fun stuff.
Yeah, we had an interview with Mary Jo Peel, and we just decided, we don't need to do anything ever again.
Yeah, we're not going to top that anytime soon, so...
Yeah, so RiffTrax Live got pushed to 2021.
Yes, yeah, officially got pushed back to next year. I'm not surprised by it.
Yeah, it may as well. Yeah. May as well, yeah.
RiffTrax announced that they will still be doing a Fathom event on October 21st. They're going to be showing a PG-13 cut of Jack-O.
Jack-O! I've never seen Jack-O.
I've never seen it before. I've never heard of it before.
I heard about it on Red Letter Media, on the episode where they also did Rock and Roll Nightmare.
They did state that shortly after the Fathom event, it will be available as a VOD download in the R-rated cut. And I would assume that that'll probably be out on VOD right before Halloween, considering it's kind of, a Halloween thing.
Welcome back from the edit, everybody.
So that's just kind of, because they weren't able to do their theatrical live shows this year, so they're still doing something. We also have some other news to talk about.
Huh?
Like The Mandalorian Season 2.
Oh, that's right.
Coming to Disney Plus on October 30th. You may recall we talked about the first season quite extensively.
Oh, yeah.
Here on the podcast, and I'm sure we'll probably talk about the second season as well.
Yeah, we might as well, because here on the #1 RiffTrax podcast in the world, we're going to talk about this Star Wars show on Disney Plus.
Because why not? It's our show. We can do what we want.
Are you going to rewatch any of The Mandalorian Season 1?
I've been thinking about it. I mean, it's a little over a month away, so I'll probably have time to do that. It's not like there's a ton of episodes. But I've been wanting to rewatch at least the last couple episodes of the first season.
Especially the one that was directed by Taika Waititi. That was excellent.
Yes,
season
that was
finale.
An outstanding episode.
Definitely better than Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker. But anyway, that's
yeah. But before we
defend that movie anymore.
On a tirade about that. Let's move on to the weekend box office. It's kind of a thing again.
Is it though?
Kind of, a little bit. The #1 movie is, of course, Tenet, which brought in an estimated $4.7 million this past weekend. Followed up by The New Mutants, which brought in $1.6 million. Infidel at #3, Unhinged at #4, and wrapping up the top 5, the SpongeBob movie, Sponge on the Run.
We can't keep living like this.
Which brought in $210,000.
We can't keep living like this. This can't go on. This year needs to end.
I miss movies. I miss going to the theater and watching movies. I miss it. I think the last one I saw in theaters was Star Wars.
I think so
that was the last
too.
Movie I saw in theaters.
That's the last movie I remember even caring about.
Something. I don't know. I don't remember because it feels like it was forever ago.
You know what? I thought that 2019 was going to be the big reboot for pop culture. It was really this year. Where it's just being like, you thought you was going to get a bunch of new stuff. Guess what? No. Everything is
No.
canceled.
You know what we got that wasn't anything new? I mean, it was a new release from RiffTrax, but it's called Beaks the movie.
Beaks.
It's basically, where Birdemic got half of its ideas from.
You mean the birds? Oh, geez.
Bird.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to let you summarize it, and then I have some thoughts about it. Because this thing... Oh,
all right,
man.
So, Beaks the movie was a Mexican-produced horror film, English-speaking Mexican-produced horror film, directed by Rene Cardona Jr.
That name sounds familiar, Jeremy.
Yeah, that name might sound very familiar to RiffTrax fans because he directed a few other movies that RiffTrax has done, The Bermuda Triangle and Treasure of the Amazon. Also, he wrote another movie that was directed by his father and starred his son, a little gem of inspiration that we like to call Zindy the Swamp Boy.
God. This is the guy who wrote Zindy the Swamp Boy.
Yeah, his dad directed it and was also the grandpa, and his son was Zindy.
Wait, no. Wait, are you serious?
I'm 100% serious.
I didn't know that. I just know, look, Zindy the Swamp Boy to me represents... I can't even believe we're talking about it in another context. Other than, like, it's this weird movie about a boy who gets eaten by a cougar at the end of his own story. So I didn't know that Grandpa, the guy who dies in a pool of his own filth, was the director.
Yep.
And Zindy, the boy who gets eaten by a cougar and who lives with a rabid monkey who was like the hantavirus, that was his son.
Yeah.
Does he hate his
that was
family?
Actually his... I don't know. There's also... I also have a few more little interesting little tidbits here. Okay, so Beaks the movie, back to this movie. Vanessa is like our main character, I guess. She's a reporter. And it starts off where she has to cover a story about a farmer being attacked by his own chickens. And
like in Zelda.
Yeah. In doing so, she discovers that it is not an isolated incident. So she goes off to Spain with her cameraman / boyfriend, Peter. Peter is played by Christopher Atkins, who some may know as the boy in the Blue Lagoon.
Oh, I was about to say some might know him as the daughter of Manson family member Susan Atkins, but that's probably not true. I just made that up.
Yeah, he was in the original Blue Lagoon movie. He was in like one of the like sequels to it, I guess. I don't know. I can't believe they made more than one of those. But he was also in another RiffTrax movie, The Little Unicorn.
Really?
Yeah, he was one of the police officers.
Oh.
Yeah, and then the main actress who plays Vanessa, she's just been in a ton of stuff. Actual like movies that people have heard about, like Death Becomes Her, Far and Away, Dr. Giggles.
That's for looking like Dr. Giggles.
Yeah, she's been in a ton of stuff. Somehow Beaks the movie did not kill the careers of either of these people, which is kind of surprising.
Usually that's what RiffTrax movies do to people.
Yeah, sometimes it's either the one and only thing they've ever been in, or it's the last thing they ever directed, or, whatever. This movie features a lot of birds pulling out eyeballs.
Yeah, here's the thing though. I mean, like in the okay, obviously the big thing is that this is very much like Birdemic. That's at the forefront of everyone's. I mean, let's just get that out of the way. If you're a RiffTrax fan and you come into a thing called Beaks, like right away, I think they even made a mention. They 4 minutes in their first Birdemic reference.
They don't just make a bunch of Birdemic references throughout the whole thing.
Yeah.
There are very few Birdemic references in this movie.
I honestly felt like there should have been more.
Like, I think they mentioned coat hangers in one scene. The first Birdemic reference is the lady running along the beach, and they say she's going to pull a Becky.
Yeah, but to be fair, they do that all the time.
Yeah, all the time. They do that in all kinds of movies.
All kinds of yeah. Like
now
like anytime a woman looks like she's about to die while taking a dump, they say she's gonna pull a Becky, which apparently happens a lot in RiffTrax movies.
Yeah, there are a few scenes of animals definitely getting hurt in this movie. Specifically, there's some pigeons being shot, like right towards the beginning. They did cut out some of it, I was told, which is good because, you know, that's not something that you like to see. I know we talked about this with the dogs in The Most Dangerous Game, and that was, you know, pre-code. This one's definitely not pre-code.
Yeah, pre-code.
There's a whole scene that takes place at a child's birthday party where they all start getting attacked.
I don't know why that made me think of The Visitor. It's like...
It has my new favorite character, Birthday Nurse. Just a random nurse, like in like the classic nurse uniform, like the little folded hat and everything.
That's a nurse for you.
There's a scene where a family is being attacked by a whole flock of pigeons, and they're very much so just taking pigeons and throwing them at the people.
See now, like that's the thing, is that I kind of wondered how they got some of the birds to attack some of these people, like like Discount Store Mario at the very beginning. When he got attacked, all the birds went like right for him. It's like did they like tape bread on him or something, or like
it was like Home Alone 2.
Yeah,
the lady had all the seeds. Yeah.
I mean, like it had to have been like something like that.
Yeah,
where
there had to have been something going on there.
Like I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying that it can't be done, but I'm kind of wondering how you can train a bird to do that and then expect it to not like revert to its feral state. I'd be like, oh well, I wouldn't want to be that stunt man. No way.
No way.
Especially in this movie where, like, dude, there's so many bird attacks in this movie. I think we talked about it a little bit before the podcast started. You look at Birdemic. Okay, let's just go there. You look at Birdemic, and Birdemic has, number one, it doesn't have any real birds in it, except for like the off chance that like you see a real bird flying in the sky.
Yeah.
Like, but I mean, that aside, Birdemic is like driving in a Mustang, harassing some woman in a restaurant, software sales, basketball game, kinda. All this stuff. The pumpkin festival, weird dates, hanging out with your family, awkward love scene, horse urine, and then bird attack at 45 minutes in. I mean, the horse urine is a key plot point. I don't think there was any horse urine in Beaks.
Well, there could have been. I mean,
yeah. It definitely is not as prominent.
No.
But then, like, it slams into a bird attack, a digital bird attack, and then just goes on for 45 minutes. And then you have like gas station, tree guy. Eat, and then the movie's over somehow. This is just like nonstop like bird attacks, And the
Yeah.
thing is that it's
There's
like
so many in this movie.
it immediately, like, okay, you're hang gliding, and then this guy gets attacked by a bird.
Who steals his sunglasses? Come on,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, that's just like, that's not cool. So he crashes onto the beach. His girlfriend follows him down. And then, like, it's like the most miraculous bird kill. Like, she pulls,
Yeah, and
like,
that has to have been like, that was a real. That wasn't like later on. There's one that they blow up that kind of looks like it might have actually not been a real bird.
that was like,
This-
okay, they stabbed that bird. They killed that bird.
Oh yeah.
Like,
Yeah, totally.
But the thing was, it was pretty impressive because she, like, pulled out this long piece of metal out of her wrecked and ruined hang glider. It's like, okay. And it's just like, I don't know. I feel like that would have been like a 1 in a million shot to get it like that perfect. Like, you know? And then just get it like right through the heart like that.
It was such a terrible, like I understand what you're saying. I get that, you know, like, wow, that's crazy that actually happened. But at the same time, it's like, oh, that actually happened? That's crazy. Like, I can't believe they would put that on film.
Oh, I believe it.
Stabbing an actual bird.
I absolutely believe it. This is the guy who wrote Zindy the Swamp Boy. Of course they do it.
Yeah, and they actually killed that boy at the end of the movie.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. He's still alive because he's in this movie too.
Wait, Zindy's in this movie?
Yes, he just has.
No.
I'm guessing it's like a cameo or something. Just
no. Zindy the Swamp Boy is in this movie.
Yeah, Rene Cardonas III.
Who is he?
The character played by Zindy the Swamp Boy is Soldier.
Well, I guess his career his career died.
Yeah, no, he's actually still making movies.
He is?
Yeah.
As what?
Well, he's directing.
Oh. Wow.
His latest came out in 2017.
That's crazy. I just assumed everybody who was involved with Zindy the Swamp Boy was dead. I mean, like it wasn't an active assumption. It's just kind of like one of those subconscious assumptions that you see with movies like that. Like, in your subconscious, think, like, these people are all dead. Like, you know, like, we can make fun of it. Also, they're not from here. Also, can we talk about that? This was a foreign movie. This is another one of those weird RiffTrax movie things where it's like, I don't know. I think I should give this a name. I think I'll call it like the Ghosthouse phenomenon.
Oh, I like that. That's
the Ghosthouse phenomenon, where it's a foreign movie, but it's written and performed completely in English, but the dub makes it look like it was dubbed into a foreign language and then back into English. Like, it's hard to describe. Just watch it. Now, this movie adds another layer to it, because if you look at it, the sync is perfect, but it still feels like something still feels weird and off about it. Like, this is like,
there's still that little bit of like, it's not quite right.
Yes, not quite right. It's just like, this is not these people's real voices, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, it's better, but at the same time, like, there's an extra creepy layer to it, to the Ghost House. Is it the Ghost House Effect or the phenomenon? Let's call it the Ghost House Effect, because that's really what it is.
Yeah.
The Ghost House Effect, where a movie that's written and performed in English but made by foreigners, they can be speaking completely in English the entire time, but it still feels like it was dubbed from another language.
Yep.
It's creepy. I mean, like, there's no other way to say it. It's creepy. It gives it that weird, creepy RiffTrax foreign movie vibe, which this definitely has.
Oh yeah, it's got it in spades.
Yeah.
I mean, this is another one of those things where, like, you don't get like an actual resolution to the story.
No,
like,
it just ends. I mean, it's not as bad as Light Blast, but I mean,
oh, he's dead. Oh, okay.
Where the movie just, like, he's dead, okay, and the movie just falls off a cliff.
Yeah. But, you know, there's some great riffs in this. Like, right at the beginning, there's a joke, and they have the audio for this is actually very quiet, but we get a a callback to the X-Men riff within the first 2 minutes of this.
Magneto.
Cerebro.
Magneto.
And it's so quiet that you could barely hear it. But it's there, and I greatly appreciated that riff. I also appreciated the riff about the mosquitoes in Michigan, mostly because I deal with mosquitoes here in Michigan on a yearly basis, and they are terrible.
Welcome back from the edit, everybody.
So yeah, Beaks, the movie. Check it out. It's very good. I laughed out loud many times watching this one. Some audible guffaws.
Yes, I quite enjoyed it. For some reason, it also made me think of The Visitor a lot. I don't know why. I mean, I have no explanation for that. Maybe because there's also a bird attack in The Visitor. Both of our choice for riff of the year for 2019. Anyway, yeah, go get Beaks.
Go check it out.
Go do it.
Now we get to talk about one of your all-time favorite riffs, Dave.
Yes, I think this is my my favorite riff of all time.
We've teased this many times before on the show that we were eventually going to talk about this. And now here we are. Take it away, Dave.
Yes, so we're going to go ahead and I don't know if we'll do a deep dive, but we'll just talk about a little movie I like to call House on Haunted Hill. It stars the one and only Vincent Price, and I don't know. I think that this is one of Vincent Price's, I think this movie defines Vincent Price and kind of like what he is. I mean, he doesn't do a whole lot of great acting in this. He's just there, and he's himself the entire time. You don't ever really think of Vincent Price in this movie as a character. He's just there. Like when I did the storybook parody for this movie, I didn't refer to him as his character. I don't Mr. Lauren.
Yeah.
I just it's Vincent Price. It's hello, yes, I'm Vincent Price. It's I'm kind of a big deal. That's my awful Vincent Price impersonation.
There's only been one other actor, I think, that has embodied that same thing where you watch it and it's just okay, he's not this character. He's just the actor doing this, and that's Jeff Goldblum.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's oh, hello, I'm Jeff. I'll just oh, it's a dinosaur? Oh, okay. I'm just going to hang out over here and with my shirt open. So anyway, House on Haunted Hill. It's also it's a very scary movie. It's very atmospheric. I had never seen it before when I picked the RiffTrax up for it. And I didn't know anything about it. I knew that there was a terrible, quote-unquote, remake, the year I graduated high school.
Oh, it was so bad. I'll take the original any day.
But, so I'm watching this thing, and I guess it was colorized, and you can tell that it was colorized. And it's one of the times where I'm actually, so engaged with the movie, because this, rarely happens with RiffTrax, where you are engaged with the movie as a movie itself.
Yeah.
While also engaged with this great, hilarious riff. And to me, that was just such a cool experience that, I never forgot it. And I watched it. I've probably seen House on Haunted Hill probably about 9 billion times, and each time has been with the RiffTrax. I don't know if I could watch it unriffed. Not that it's one of these movies. I know we say I couldn't watch that movie unriffed. It's not like that, but it's just I would feel like watching it with Mike, Kevin, and Bill. To me, that was because I watched that first. It would be something would be missing from my House on Haunted Hill experience if I didn't have Mike, Kevin, and Bill with me there. So, right. I don't know what much there is to say about the story because I'm kind of afraid of spoilers a little bit. If you haven't seen it, if you're a new fan, as
Yeah,
Bill
there's
likes
actually like twists in this.
yeah, there's like a plot. Yeah. And there's definitely there's more than one spoiler. I mean, like this thing has a plot twist and another plot twist, and like even saying plot twist, like excuse me, spoiler. I didn't say anything. I didn't Tony Stark dies. I mean, like, what do you want? It's like,
yeah, it's weird because this is a really old movie, but it's got some fun little dips and dives in it that you don't really want to give away to people.
No. Okay. Let's see. Like, I think this is really kind of like the only movie that ever really pulled off the if you stay in a haunted house overnight, you get like $1 million. That's basically what the movie starts off as.
Yeah.
Vincent Price, he throws this party, and he has this harpy wife, Annabelle, who's be like, welcome back from the edit, everybody. It's definitely Vincent Price has killed, or like he's implied to have killed like his previous wives.
Yeah.
It's never really like. That's never really resolved whether he did or not. I'm inclined to believe that he did not. I don't know. I don't really want to get into it, but I don't really want to get into like that aspect of it because then that will lead into spoilers.
Right.
So it's kind of
hard
weird...
because you want to talk about it.
Yeah,
but...
I do. I do want to talk about it, but okay. So we'll just talk about it in broad strokes. So they bring in these schlubs. There's a horny test pilot. There's this secretary. There's this leprechaun they bring in. There's this old bat that like you could like flick her out of the movie and no one would notice. And then there's this dry ball professor, and it's just like, oh well, everyone's gonna hate that guy, and everyone does.
Yeah.
So the leprechaun guy is just like the leprechaun guy, Pritchard is his name. Pritchard the leprechaun, because he's Irish. Pritchard the drunken leprechaun. He actually, I'm just trying to see how many times I can insult the Irish before Twitter gets mad at us. He actually owns the place, and I think his brother died and his family died in the house like 10 years before, and he's owned the house since then. And he's like, oh, there's ghosts in this house, right? And so he takes them on like a little murder tour, and it's just be like, oh, look at this gigantic spot of blood that's here on the ceiling that no one ever cleaned up. And then it starts dripping blood onto the old bat, and the old bat doesn't care at all. She'd just be like, oh, yeah, well, whatever. Just 10-year-old blood, human blood. It's all over me. That's fine. It's okay. It's cool. So then the horny pilot and secretary, I don't know why she hangs out with him. Because he'd be like, hey, baby. And she'd be like, I don't like you. Oh, I like you now. Or like, I Nora's her name, right? So Lance and Nora go on a little adventure by themselves, right? Down into the basement, down into the date rape room. And they find a witch on rollerblades. And she freaks out. She'd be like, I saw a ghost. And then it's just be like, Vincent Price says, that's not a ghost. It's just an old person. Right? So anyway, so they're the caretakers. They left and they locked them in.
Yeah.
And they'd be like, oh, well, unfortunately, we are all locked in now. None of you can leave, but you all wanted to stay anyway. Otherwise, you'll get like your $1 million or however much it is. And then it's be like,
I think it was.
Yeah, something like that. And but then Vincent Price says, be like, oh, let's up the fun. Here are all these loaded guns. right? And it's like this is a questionable idea, right? So
Yeah, just a little bit.
they give everyone a gun. It's be like, and then like Dryball, Mr. Trent, Dr. Trent, Dr. Trent, Dr. Trent. It'd be like, oh, I don't think we're all going to go shooting off at each other. And then when everything goes wrong, because everything's going to go wrong, obviously.
Yeah.
Trent is the guy who stands up and gives this, well, I knew everything was going to go wrong. It's like, dude, no, you didn't. You were just like, oh, no, nothing's going to go wrong. Let's, he's Australian now. I don't know why, but let's be like, oh, I don't think we're all going to go shooting each other in a situation where everything's all set up to go completely wrong. And then later it'll be like, I knew this was going to happen the whole time. It's like, no, you didn't. You liar. Yeah. But anyway, so fast forward, spoiler, skeleton, spoiler, the end. Yes.
Oh, the skeleton.
Yes.
Oh, I love the skets. That is an amazing. Oh, I love it.
I think that's one of the best RiffTrax moments. I think, if we're going to talk about the riff itself, Bill has a really great bit with the skeleton marionette in this riff. Be like, oh, I bet that wasn't hard to pull off. Honey, what are you doing? Come to bed. Oh, I'm dealing with my skeleton marionette. You know, and then he has this whole thing about the skeleton marionette and tries to like explain away how he was so great at the skeleton marionette and he has a point to like pull off what he did.
Oh yeah.
He had to have been practicing with that thing down there in the basement
all night.
Yeah, it's like, no, that requires some skill. You can't just be like, well, here are the instructions. Kill my wife.
Oh, okay, I can do that.
But anyway, House on Haunted Hill, it's a classic, was released in 2009, 11 years ago. And the live show for it was in 2010, which was a decade ago. Jeremy.
Why do you keep doing that to me? You're so mean, Dave. You're so
because
mean.
you're older than I am. I'm about to turn 40 here in 3 months, and I just have to make you feel older than me.
You do a good job.
So yeah, I know it's the only way I feel good about myself on this show.
On that note. I think we're going to wrap things up today. Special shout out to all of our Patreons. If you want to all of our patrons, if you like the show and want to support us a little bit, you can head over to patreon.com/trueblueriffcast and you get access to all kinds of behind the scenes things, some bloopers.
Jeremy's got a pretty good. It's not an outtake, something that happened before the podcast, but it was
while we were.
If he is smart, he will include that.
Oh yeah, that's definitely going to be going up on our Patreon, because it's real good, guys. But you get access to all that stuff. Every once in a while, we do a vote on what VODs that we're going to talk about. We haven't had that in a while because of special guests and other extenuating circumstances. But I assure you, you'll be getting one of those soon. I just can't say exactly what it's going to be or when it's going to happen, just that it's going to happen soon. But I am Jeremy. You can find me at pbandawesome.com. You can find me on Twitter at pbandawesome. You can send me emails, jeremy@trueblueriffcast.com. And you can follow the podcast at TBRiffcast.
And I'm Dave, a.k.a. Sugar Ray Dodge. Check me out on the web at sugarraydodge.com. Send me emails at dave@trueblueriffcast.com.
And we will see you guys next time right here on the True Blue Riffcast.
Rock till you die.
Rock till you die. Rock till you die. You die alone and rock till you die. Rock till you die.